Hello and welcome to Estuary TV News with me, James Dunn. On tonight's show, a former soldier learning to live with his injuries after being shot in the face. And my guest is here to talk about young local linguists and musicians soon to compete in Grimsby. But here's Richard Morris with the news headlines first.
Hello, in the headlines today, Road Safety Week means less bikes in Grimsby Town Centre and an encouragement from local health organisations to only see the doctor when you really need to. The council is urging people to get off their bikes in Grimsby's town centre. During a campaign encouraging people to look out for each other on the roads during Road Safety Week, officers spotted far too many cyclists on the high street. Now they're asking people to get off their bikes or risk getting fined, although no enforcement notices were handed out during the information day.
A lot of people ride up and down through here every day. When we had the modernisation through this area, it was made a pedestrian-only zone, and that is for safety. So the idea is if people come off the bikes and walk and push it through, it's safer for everyone. I've tried to engage with them in a positive way, identified that this is a cycle-free zone and that it's for pedestrians only, and then those that haven't worn the correct high visibility clothing, I've given them a high-vis vest and a high-vis backpack cover as well, just to make them safer.
The road safety team are in Immingham tomorrow and at Halfords in Grimsby on Friday if you want to find out more about road safety. This week is also Alcohol Awareness Week, and as part of the event, Hull City Council is planning some question and answer sessions. This year's theme of the event is Facing Our Alcohol Problem, Taking Back Our Health. Help and support with any questions is available tomorrow at Hull Royal Infirmary between 10:30 and 2:30 and Friday at Mind on Beverley Road between 10 and 2. Councillor John Hewitt, Hull City Council's portfolio holder for neighbourhoods and communities, said that we are committed to helping reduce the number of alcohol-related problems in the city. We are not saying don't have a drink, but we want people to be responsible about their drinking. The event runs until the end of the week. Hull City Council is looking for views in a public consultation on the future of leisure swimming pools. The proposals would see a new 6-lane swimming pool at Woodford Leisure Centre, but would subsequently close East Hull pools. People wishing to share their views on the plan can go to hullcc.gov.uk/consultations. A memorial took place this week for road crash victims in Hull and the East Riding. Hull is only one of 3 cities in the country that takes part in an International Day of Remembrance for road crash victims. The service took place at St Mary's Church on Lowgate by relatives of victims whose names are written in a book of remembrance.
We adopted this very early on. This is our 13th year from the beginning. We've even got a little memorial stone as well in the Wilberforce Gardens as well. So some people can go there and sort of contemplate their loved ones and say prayers as well. So it's our way of just helping people come to terms with the grief.
Shelter, the housing charity, has reported that it's seen a rise in the number of calls to their helpline from people in Yorkshire and the Humber. The number of callers from our region rose to more than 13,500 callers in the last year, which is an increase of 19%. The charity is expecting to see a high demand for its helpline this coming Christmas. Their last analysis of government statistics showed that 46 households in our region are at risk of losing their home every day. Shelter is blaming a lack of affordable homes in England for the rise of calls to its helpline. People are being encouraged to wrap up warm and take paracetamol before approaching their doctors this winter as part of an annual scheme. The scheme, run by the local NHS in partnership with a number of other organisations, should reduce stress on GPs, surgeries and hospitals, and is also aimed at members of the local community who may otherwise go straight to healthcare professionals. 2 coffee mornings explaining more about the scheme are taking place tomorrow and Friday at the Grimsby Minster between 9:30 and 12:30. There will be winter warmer packs given out at the mornings.
It's about knowing the point where you might need to seek additional help from a GP or from the local hospital. It's about understanding that because you've got a cough or a cold, you might not need to see your doctor. You might be able to look after yourself at home, stay warm, stay wrapped up and and take paracetamol or whatever medication it is that you need to maintain yourself being well. And then when you feel that you need help and support further, then go to the doctor.
That's all from me, and I'll be back with more news soon. Bye for now.
Thank you, Richard. Now, next on the show is the shocking story of Simon Brown. In December 2006, something that happened in a split second would change his life forever. And on Christmas Eve, he woke up in hospital with a long road to recovery ahead of him. Reporter Dave Nunn went to see him now that he's pieced his life back together.
Shot in the face during a gunfight in a foreign land. That's how Hull-born soldier Simon Brown sustained the injuries that changed his life forever.
Well, I was serving as a corporal in Basra, and I was tasked to lead a team in to recover a vehicle with 6 people under fire. Unfortunately, fortunately, we got everybody out in one piece except myself, because as we extracted, I was hit by a sniper. So the bullet entered my left cheek, exited my right cheek, and as you can imagine, made a real mess. Fortunately for me, I survived the impact. I got to the medical facilities in the time that was needed to, and then from there, I woke up in Birmingham, Christmas Eve 2006, to the news that I had lost my sight, and obviously, then I had to go through all that transition of not only losing my career and my job in the forces, but also coming to terms with a life-changing disability.
The experience was traumatic enough, but the real challenge was yet to come as Simon faced the prospect of learning to live with his disability.
Recovery it was a long process. Obviously, there was the mental stuff to deal with. There wasn't a lot of physical rehabilitation, but a lot of transition. And the organisations like HERIB and Blind Veterans UK that I work for were strategic in the support they gave me, the advice, the training, and obviously what I thought was very important was the peer support, being around other people in the situation that could help me come to terms and move on with the situation in hand.
Local charities such as the Hull and East Riding Institute for the Blind, or HERIB, have been vital in helping Simon come to terms with his new way of life.
So charities like HERIB, the way they help people, the main thing is to help people transition from being sighted to losing their sight, because it's a massive emotional blow. It is like losing a member of your family, losing your sight, and it's probably one of the disabilities that scares most of us. So with the professionalism and honesty and integrity of the staff as guiding you through this process and introducing you to the right people at the right stages through your training and rehabilitation, means that you can actually move forward and come to terms with the blindness and in fact, still go on and achieve great things that you thought, were barriers there that weren't.
Simon's now doing his bit to help others who have suffered a similar fate in similar circumstances.
Yeah, well, while I work for Blind Veterans UK, my job at the moment is to find ex-servicemen and women out there and sort of get them support and help they need. And that's why we like working very closely with blind associations such as HERIB, because they're the people on the ground at the coalface supporting and helping people, and we come in and offer a bit more extra support, try and take a bit of the load off these guys, and that's the thing. I'm very, very proud to do what I do, and sort of working with organisations like this makes it even more useful to at the end of the day you feel like you've done something worthwhile.
And thanks to the vital work of these charities, now Simon can safely set his sights on the future. Dave Nunn, Estuary TV.
Thank you, Dave, and it's great to see that he's got his life back on track. Now, next on tonight's show, Mozart, Andrew Lloyd Webber and Percy Shelley. Where else could you hear all of the above other than at the Bradley Youth Festival? Here with me today are Sylvia Moss and Sue Potter, here to talk about this year's event. Hello, ladies, how are you?
Very well,
Thank you very much for coming in. So I'm going to start with you, Sue. Tell me a little bit about Bradley Youth Festival. There's one very notable thing about it, isn't it? And that it's not in Bradley at all, is it?
No, it's at the Grimsby Town Hall. It was called Bradley Festival because it started in Bradley 73 years ago, right? Yes, so we're in our 73rd year. And it's hosted now at the Town Hall, and as you're going to talk about later, it's all music and speech and drama and a whole host of things.
So it actually started in the Second World War?
Yes, it did. We were just talking about that earlier, weren't we? It's surprising to think that it started in the war. It would be interesting to see the background to that.
I heard you talking about it. My maths isn't that good. So tell me a little bit about, I'll ask you, what kind of things can we expect?
Well, we've got children from 5 to young adults. It's from 5 till 21 because it's called a youth festival. We don't take anybody over 21 unless it's a family group. And we've got drama, we've got poems, we've got acting, prose in the speech department, and we've got in the music we have piano, strings, woodwind, singing. It's wonderful.
Even harps sometimes.
Wow. And why do this? I mean, what kind of people take part?
Well, people who are interested to perform, the teachers want to give the little ones especially the experience of actually going onto a stage and performing. And as they get older and they want to pursue this as a career, it really does give them a lot of disciplines that they would need.
And do many people get involved? How many people could we expect to take part in this?
That's a question we can't answer,
Yes,
but hundreds.
Yes,
Hundreds.
Hundreds,
a
yeah,
lot,
yeah.
yes. Especially when you get a school that all comes together. We had one school that sent every single pupil, which was delightful. Yeah.
Now, you two ladies have known each other for a very long time, haven't you?
Yes.
Yes. About 40 years.
About 40 years. And how did you two first get involved in this festival?
Well, I started to go to piano lessons late 90s to learn as an adult. I'd learnt as a child but left it for many years. And my piano teacher said, would I be interested in helping in a small festival? And did I know anybody else who would help? And so I said, Sue, and that was 15 years ago, and here we are.
So Sue, you've got her to thank for 15
Absolutely.
years of hardship and graft.
Absolutely. It's fun sometimes. It is a busy time, but we are involved in several areas, so we do get quite involved. Don't
Now,
we?
these things aren't easy to organise, and there's a lot of people going,
Oh, yes.
like you just said.
Yes.
So why do you do it? What do you get out of it?
Well, when you've seen a child performing on a piano, doing a simple tune, and you've watched them year after year, and then they're sitting blasting out Bach and something like that, it's very rewarding. And then we lose our kids because they go on and do other wonderful things. But you do recognise them year after year after year.
And what about you, Sylvia? Have you ever seen any small people coming up through the ranks of the festival, and then maybe seen them on telly or in a show years later?
Not quite, but we know that some of our older teenagers have gone on to music college and done wonderful things from there.
And drama as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, can we expect this for many years to come, or?
It depends. The committee, we've got a committee of 11. And I will say quite kindly, but we're all ageing.
Okay.
We do need some younger members coming up. We've got a couple of younger members,
Yes,
haven't we?
yes.
But, you know, we all have different tasks to do. Sue and I do trophies, which means collecting the trophies in and you know, presenting them at the concert. And then we also do speech coordination. We also
Sit with the adjudicators.
assist the adjudicators, which we really enjoy. And so it's quite a multifaceted job.
Sounds busy, but you could do with
But
some...
it's only one part of the year, so if anybody wants to help, you know, just contact us at the festival or through you, and we'd be delighted to take their names and tell them all about it.
It's costly as well.
Is it?
Yes, it is costly. So we rely on the entrance and everything that's associated with it to provide enough money to pay for the town hall, to pay for the adjudicators and everything else. So if it ever did suffer at all, it would be probably because of costs.
Well, it's brilliant that you carry on doing it, and long may it continue. Just quickly, because we are running out of time,
Yes.
but when does it start?
Well, I'll leave that to you.
Friday afternoon is the first class, and it starts with schools. We've just got one entrance this year, haven't we, St Martin's, and it continues till Sunday afternoon when we culminate in the concert and we give all the trophies away.
That's when we come into our own.
That's brilliant. That's Grimsby Town Hall, isn't it? So
It
thank you
is.
very much for coming in today.
Oh,
ladies.
you're more than
you.
welcome.
I'm afraid that is actually all we've got time for today on today's show, but don't forget that we do need your stories. If you've got something to share, whether it's stories or views, get in touch on Grimsby 31553 on social media, that's Twitter or Facebook, or email us on news@estuary.tv. Bye for now.